So what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel. My name's GRIZZ. Today we're going to be talking about Fortnite Battle Royale. There was some juicy changes that Epic Games just put out in the new patch notes that happened over on Twitter. I have a link to that down in the description box below. But drop a like in this video if you're excited about the new changes that happened to Infinity Gauntlet. I'm going to cover all that here today. So be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comment section if you're new. And if anything here sparks an idea, feel free to hit me up over on Twitter at GrizzViolent. It's the best place to keep talking Fortnite, Battle Royale in general, because Black Ops 4 is going to have Battle Royale, so I'm just getting pumped for that, and multiplayer and zombies. I cover all that here. So right away, let's go ahead and get started. This is sort of an after-action report. I did just complete this game. Based on the experience of the new update, it's a lot different. Playing as Thanos, you're a lot weaker. And I'm going to go through those changes here in just a second, but I want to note a few things up front as you approach this new game mode, because what's important is that you can no longer just go straight to the gauntlet with your parachute. The circle's been expanded, and as you land, even when you pop right out of the battle bus, as you go from that point all the way down, just by floating, the time duration has been extended, so you can't even do that. It takes quite a while for the meteor to actually spawn in now. So now that we got through that, let's go ahead and talk about the actual patch notes. I'm going to read through it here. There's about 4 paragraphs of juicy intel. So let's get right into this stuff. Infinity Gauntlet LTM adjustments. Hello again. Earlier today we pushed a fix live for the loot drops. And this fixed the floor loot drops to correct only spawns rares, epics, and legendary quality weapons within the Infinity Gauntlet limited time mode. On this note, I will say that I've gotten a lot more golden scars than I ever would have gotten before. So the spawn rates of the loot are massively better. You're going to see heavy loot, and this is needed for Thanos, because as the gauntlet is passed back and forth to new players, you're going to run into a lot of trouble, especially if you can't get over there in time. Jump pads are key. We've just pushed additional adjustments to Thanos in the limited time mashup. Our goal is to allow more folks to truly experience the power of Thanos, which is true. I'm going to tell you what the Thanos changes are here in a second, while also making you feel powerful when wielding the gauntlet. So the Thanos changes. It increased the beam from 12 to 20 damage on players. So before, the beam only dealt 12 damage, now it deals 20 against players. So it got a massive buff there. It increased the punch damage from 80 to 100, so you have an extra 20 amount of damage that you're putting on players for every punch, so you're a lot more deadly. But it did get a nerf on the health, so it decreased the health from 800 to 500, so we lost 300 health on Thanos. Damn, son! I will tell you, playing this mode right when it actually went down, the Avengers update, Thanos was a lot stronger, and now he's a lot weaker. So when you get this, just be careful. I would say keep your bets close to the storm. Follow around the outer ring of the circle and keep your jumps in that direction. Don't fare too close to the middle, because if you do, you're going to get shot from many angles. Everyone can see you, but remember, you can't see them. So follow your bets close to the circle. Hug the crap out of that storm. It's going to be your best friend. The general mode changes that happened to the Infinity Gauntlet LTM. They reduced the height of the bus when dropping. This is what I'm talking about, when you're actually at the very top peak and you actually just float down to the ground. Even that amount of time. It takes a long time to do that. But they reduced the height of the bus so you can no longer just hover until that meteor gets here. But not only that, they added more changes to make this even more tricky. The bigger initial storm circle, so we've just talked about that earlier in this video. The storm circle has been expanded, so now there's a huge radius that meteor can actually fall into, so you can't really pinpoint it near as well anymore. There's less storm damage early game. The first 3 storms from 5%, 5%, 10% per tick are now to 1%, 2.5% to 5%. So that's massive, dude. So while you're caught in the storm, the first 3 storms, you're going to take significantly less damage. So the storm itself got a nerf. Now fellas, as you know, I'm coming over from the Call of Duty Zombies community. I find this quite impressive, very impressive, that Epic Games has such a control on the environment that they've built in their world. The fact that they can shrink the storm, the fact that they can hover the circle even bigger now than it was before. I think that stuff's very impressive. Reducing the height of the bus. These are very dynamic elements that Epic Games has full control over, and changes consistently happening. It's so impressive, especially with a full render of Thanos being put into the game. I know they do skins all the time, but they're usually skins on the same characters that we've already had, so it's probably not a ton of work to make that happen and clap. But if you add a whole new render of Thanos from the Avengers in, who knows what's next? We've already got a teaser for The Walking Dead, so my bet's maybe we're going to have some sort of zombies mode coming up. That was my last Fortnite video and what that was about. I'll have that link down in the description box below. But if you're more interested in Black Ops 4 information, I'll have another link down in the description box below of the new teaser that we got. Because Black Ops 4 is going to be very hype moving into the future here. It's coming out in October if you didn't know. And we got a reveal coming up next week on May 17th of the multiplayer. So we're going to get hands-on experience. Well, I'm assuming we're going to see gameplay of the hands-on experience that's there. It's going to all happen. And what's poppin' is E3 is next month, so we're going to have even more of an experience. So if we don't hear about Call of Duty Battle Royale, we're probably going to hear about it at E3 coming up. So subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep you updated on all that information as we move in. That's the next game I'm going to be covering. Fortnite right now is filling that gap where zombies just isn't at right now for Call of Duty World War II. But some of the changes, let's go back to the changes that are happening here in Fortnite, okay? We're in the Gauntlet. The initial Gauntlet spawn time changed from the bus ride plus 30 to 45 seconds. You guys remember it was only a very short duration before the Gauntlet actually came in. Now is at 120 seconds to 135 seconds. So you're not going to see this till way after the fact. That's why I'm saying when you drop down with your chute and just glide down, you're not going to even have enough time because it's 120 seconds to 135 seconds now, whereas before it was only 30 seconds to 45 seconds. So, huge change there from the initial Gauntlet spawn time. Just wanted to note that right away, but check it out. We were talking about loot changes at the beginning of this video, how weapons were increased, the drop rates of higher rarities. But here's the thing. They increased the spawn rate of medkits, chug jugs, and big shields. So, note that in the back of your head, that you're going to have your shields covered, rest assured, and medkits on the way. But here's the last note that I got here in the patch notes that happened with the Thanos changes. They removed the spawn of bandages and slurp juice. I find this interesting because originally they were both in there. Thing is, in this gameplay that I'm seeing now, I did see bandages hanging out, but I think they came from somebody, maybe a chest. But the thing is, they removed the spawn of bandages and slurp juice, so it's no longer on the playing field. That's where I believe the bandages came from that I saw in the gameplay, because they are for sure there. But I think they came from a chest, in my opinion. But let me bow tie this up for you guys, give you a little roundup of everything, just so I can hit it hard one last time in this video. What really changed was the loot spawns, okay? Correctly spawning only rare, epic, and legendary quality weapons. When it comes to actual shields and stuff, they increased the spawn rate of medkits, chug jugs, and shields. Thanos changes, perhaps the most important changes because this whole game mode's focused around them, the limited gauntlet. Infinity Gauntlet, they increased the beam from 12 to 20 damage on players, they increased the punch damage from 80 to 100, and decreased the health from 800 to 500. So some big changes on Thanos here coming at you. I wanted to deliver these patch notes the best way I know how, and this is how I deliver it each and every time on the channel. So if you like changes and patch notes, those kinds of videos, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to keep this updated on Fortnite as we move into Call of Duty Battle Royale. Then I'll switch the patch notes over to that. So hopefully you guys will follow on this journey. Stick around. We got a lot of Black Ops 4 information coming forward, and next week it's all going down. Treyarch's going to deliver, and I have full faith in Treyarch. We trust. For sure. Burger Town is my city. Thing is, Fortnite has my heart though right now. I believe in a really strong microtransaction system, and Fortnite has done it best. Free to play on all platforms. Nothing quite like it. The item shop is just straight fire. I think all you guys would agree with me on that. So I got a strong interest in what Treyarch's bringing to the table, what Call of Duty and Activision are going to do to assist that happening. Is there going to be a change in the way they do their loot? Is COD points going to change? These are the questions that I continue to ask. If this is the type of content you want to hear in these kinds of conversations, activate that notification bell. But I'll see you in the next video. Violent out.